Well, Sir Jim Ratcliffe delivered Todibo to Man United, and he's also interested into Branthwaite, that under 21 England international who plays for Everton, and he's really very, very, very solid. Facundo Pellistri transfer to the side of Granada, looks like it's really moving in the right direction. And Gore, one of those players that is being considered by the side of League One. They won't obviously take him down there. We don't know whether Erik ten Hag will guarantee that, because he believes that training with the first team at Man United is better than playing for a League One team. Let's see close to 200 likes. Smashing this video. It's really a very good day, and we're here to bring you the last video, I think, of the day. And in the morning, we are gonna come in here and obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as Manchester United is concerned. We are really having a lot in store for you, and hope you guys will enjoy it. And don't go anywhere. Keep it United Matters channel. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and everything is really moving to where we want it to be. Now let's start it off with Todibo. He has been a household name when it comes to the defenders that Man United have always wanted. We know that in the summer, United wanted to get into Todibo, but what stopped that deal from happening is Harry Maguire's rejecting to really agree a deal with West Ham. But £30 million was the price that United were supposed to obviously get in back from the guy, and all never went in all as planned. Now, Niza Kinsella, he's a football correspondent for the Standard Sport, has told us that Man United admire Jarrad, Branthwaite, and Jean-Clair Todibo. All these are not new names, but you're having some huge stories that have gone ahead to be accompanied to the transfers of these players. First and foremost, let's deal with Todibo. Nice Martin, he is really a correspondent and a fly on the wall at Nice, has gone ahead and confirmed to us that Man United will bank on David Braithwaite and Jim Ratcliffe to use in your relationship to try and sign Nice's Jean-Clair Todibo in the summer. Now, we all know that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the owner of Nice. That is it. He owns Nice in France, and Todibo plays for Nice. So that means it's going to be easy for the club of Man United to obviously get this over the line. And we know to it that if it wasn't the case, either Liverpool or Chelsea would have gone ahead obviously get this deal over the line. And even Tottenham Hotspur, before they went in, is it for Dagsin, who really went ahead to sign for them, I think, at the beginning of the winter transfer window. Their target was to bring in Todibo, but it was hard for Nice to obviously let Todibo go, because they knew to it that they were going to strengthen an enemy. And Todibo also had gone ahead to obviously try to go into personal terms with Tottenham Hotspur, but after the announcement of the 25% minority stake in Man United, Spurs shifted from that transfer, because they knew there is no way they are going to sign that player, yet he's also linked to the club of Manchester United. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe is really given a very good go to see to it that United trusts him to bring in Jean-Clair Todibo. And by the way, as I told you, when I brought you a story that Spurs want to hijack the deal of Todibo, about how it will show the weakness of Sir Jim Ratcliffe at all, he really allows a deal of a player that we've been chasing in for like a year to cross from Nice to go to Tottenham Hotspur or Liverpool, because he's a player that Erik ten Hag was scouting, and the team of Man United gone ahead to make a decision to obviously bring him in at the club of Man United. But how could we trust in your owner who couldn't obviously raise and take us to where we deserve to be as a side of Man United? So it is really great that he has gone ahead to make a decision that he's not gonna let him go anywhere, and it looks like he's gonna come in through at the club of Manchester United. And that is really some good work being done by the new minority stake owner of Man United, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And for me, Todibo is one of those defenders I would fancy to obviously bring in at the club of Manchester United. And remember, there is Matthias de Ligt, the story I did in the morning. He's also one of those that Erik ten Hag really admires. But the difference is the amount of money, because for Todibo, I think I'd be between 40 and 50 million pounds. But in the summer, he was at 35. But according to how everything has gone ahead to go on, Todibo is increasing in his price. And a lot is needed for him to obviously thrive and prevail there. So we wait and see how things are going to pan out at that side of Ineos. But for me, I really love Todibo, and I would love to see to it that we make a very huge change into that central defense. Now, apart from Todibo, there is another guy that is really being looked at by the club of Manchester United, and he goes by the names of Jarrad, Branthwaite. Man United and Real Madrid both want Everton centre-back Jarrad Branthwaite. Everton face being forced to sell him in the summer to avoid running into further financial issues. Branthwaite is high on Sir Jim Ratcliffe's United summer transfer list or wish list. Now, Man United look like they want to make a complete overhaul when it comes to the central defense, and I would be excited to see to it that we bring in 2 or 3 central defenders. That is it. If you tell me that you're getting in Matthias de Ligt and Jean-Clair Todibo, all Branthwaite and Todibo, all Branthwaite and Matthias de Ligt, and you're really getting out 3 central defenders, I'll be excited. If you tell me you're getting out Rafael Varane, Harry Maguire and Lindelof, those 3, and you're getting in Todibo and Matthias de Ligt, I'll be over the moon. Why would I over the moon? Because I know would have gone ahead to bring in players who have not gone ahead to hit their prime, because all of them are under 23 years of age, apart from Matthias de Ligt, who is 24-25, but they're really good and they really have some good prospect. It shows you the problem you're having at Man United, that even the manager is not having exactly what he wants in what he is doing. You know, players like Todibo, you know, Branthwaite, Matthias de Ligt are the new modern centre backs. You know, if any of those partners with Lisandro Martinez, we all see chemistry forming up very well, building from the back very well, and obviously defending, you know, defending the high line way, and our press will be really high at the club of Manchester United, and the possession of the ball will obviously be good because we'll be having 2 reference players that are really comfortable on the ball in our central defense. That is Lisandro Martinez and Jean-Clair Todibo, or Matthias de Ligt, and that's why I really want them. And when you have to sell Harry Maguire and get like £30 million from him, Lindelof you get like 20, that is 50. For Varane you get like 20, that is 70. I think it will be a very good goal for the club of Man United. Getting £70 million from that trio will obviously help us energize, you know, the signing of these players, because I really understand that money for one will be there, but money for the other will have to be raised from the sale of these defenders. So if at all we can sell 2 or 3, that will be better to get in 2 more into that central defense of Manchester United, as the likes of Cambuala come into through. So, but Real Madrid is also interested in signing this player, and you know the problems at Real Madrid, that they've gone ahead to see to it that their central defenders really went ahead to have injuries, and they cannot go in for a central defender during the winter transfer window, and they are all looking at the summer to create lots of chances to obviously strengthen their central defense. And I'm no longer afraid of Real Madrid. You know, way back when Real Madrid pointed at the player just went crazy. Real Madrid, Barcelona, the player just went crazy. There was even a time when Inter Milan or Juventus or AC Milan point on you, you know, the player would obviously say, I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to either of those clubs. But now that shifted, you know, to the Premier League. The Premier League is the most attractive league in the world, and every player wants to go to the Premier League. And I think you saw it well when Jude Bellingham was crossing from Borussia Dortmund to Real Madrid. His first option was to play for Liverpool. Even though Liverpool was not into the Champions League, Jude Bellingham was willing to come in through and not play or sign for Real Madrid. But the reason as to why he signed for Real Madrid was that Liverpool pulled out of the race. That is it. But if they never pulled out of the race, they would have gone ahead to obviously get this player going. And it shows you the power of the Premier League. If I know there's a Premier League, every player will be really excited to join the side. So that is it, coming in through from those 2 central defenders, and I would be excited if at all they are being delivered at the club of Manchester United. Now, we are having another huge one coming in through from Mario Cortegana. Granada are confident of securing Facundo Pellistri on loan deal until the end of the season. The potential move is said to be straight loan with no option to buy. Manchester United will cover part of the wages. Now, this is the loan I never really wanted to see. I wanted to see him getting loaned into the Premier League. That is it, because we want him to come in and really play in the Premier League. Now, if you're grooming a Premier League player, why should you loan him to the La Liga? This is not a scenario of Mason Greenwood that maybe he would have gone ahead to get attacked in the Premier League. So, if that's the case, then it really demoralizes me, and it looks like his time at Man United, or his time at Man United is numbered, and he is obviously walking towards the exit. But I believe there is a good player in Facundo Pellistri, and all we need is to get him in the Premier League and see whether he can thrive through and obviously become a better player. And I think if I had gone ahead to propose this deal to teams like Brighton, they would have gone ahead to accept it, because this is a De Zerbi player. When you look at Mitoma, he's almost in the same size with this guy, that is Facundo Pellistri at Man United. So if Mitoma is really thriving at Brighton, then how can't Mitoma not thrive that side? So if he goes to Granada, I will really have nothing to say, but I think he deserved a Premier League loan. That is it, because he is worth that. He's worth that. You play in the Premier League, you really prove to Erik ten Hag that you are really good. You are really good. That is it. So lastly, let's talk about Dan Gore. You know, very many players are leaving the club of Man United, and Dan Gore might be one of those to leave. League One side, Port Vale, want to sign Dan Gore on loan until the end of the season. That is the Telegraph and the 72. Now, for Dan Gore, I will side with what Erik ten Hag does. Ten Hag doesn't believe that a player being loaned into a side that is not the Championship, especially in the Downer League of the Premier League, obviously helps him to thrive. That's why he kept Kobbie Mainoo around, and you saw to it that this season he is a starter in the lineup of Man United, and Dan Gore might be one of those players that Ten Hag is looking at to obviously keep him and training with the first team, and obviously make him a player that we are going to enjoy in the preseason, and then usher him into the team of Man United next season. That is it. So for me, Dan Gore is a very good player, and I would love to see Dan Gore and Kobbie Mainoo playing all around that midfield. You know, he has gone ahead to get his debut this season, and a lot has been seen in him. The way he passes the ball, he is really a very, very, very good player, humble, and this is why I always tell everyone that I don't want to see Erik ten Hag sacked. You sack him, you kill the future of Dan Gore, you kill the future of Garnacho, you kill the future of Rasmus Højlund, you kill the future of Kobbie Mainoo, Kambwala, because those are the new players that Ten Hag wants to build the spine of this team on. Because when you look at Garnacho, he's earning like £27,000. You get? So, and his contract is obviously performance based. A lot of money will be added to him if at all his performances improve. If his performance don't improve, he's not going to get a lot of money. So if you're having players coming in from the academy, you know, and you are really putting them in the team on merit because they've gone ahead to show that they deserve to be in your team, it helps you save a lot of money. Now, for Garnacho to reach £100,000 a week, it will need him 2 seasons of consistency, you know, and for him to reach like £200,000 a week or £250,000 a week, those will be 4 seasons of consistency. So that is exactly what we are supposed to do. So if I don't have Dan Gore, Kobbie Mainoo, Kambwala, you are having Garnacho, there is Amad Diallo, who else? Rasmus Højlund. If they're in that wage and you continue getting in more youngsters in the team, then you won't be having a problem affecting you with the wage bill. And if I told you how to look at all the managers that have gone ahead to be in the Premier League, you know, for a long time at Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, I think no one has gone ahead to really get in academic graduates into the first team more than Erik ten Hag. And that is the biggest plus that you'll ever want to see have a manager do. Remember, he brought in Garnacho, you get? He brought in Kobbie Mainoo, He brought in Dan Gore, there is Kambwala, there is Foson Omori. So he's having close to 6-7 players that he believes can obviously break into this team. And for me, I really look at Amad Diallo as an academy graduate for Man United, though he was not at the academy and was bought by at 35 million pounds. But which manager went ahead to obviously get him to the starting 11? You know, looks like Ten Hag trusts him. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. But remember, Adeyele has also left. You know, Joe Higuain left on loan. He even scored on his debut for Barton. Then Sancho. There is Alvaro Fernandez. There is Hannibal. There is also Donny van de Beek. Close to 7 players have gone ahead to leave the club of Man United to obviously service their loans and wait and see how that will pan out. So your reactions to Sir Jim Ratcliffe to deliver Todibo at Man United are welcome in the comment section below. Then Branthwaite, what do you make about it? Then Facundo Pellistri loan nearly happening or very close. And Dan Gore, would you let him go to Port Valley, or you would rather keep him to train with the first team of Man United like Erik ten Hag did with Kobe Mainoo, who went ahead to obviously break into the first team this season? Good night. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, we out.